Most people quit coding because it's boring, frustrating, or it just doesn't stick. But what if I told you you can literally rewire your brain to crave coding like it's your favorite game or app like TikTok? In this video, I'm gonna go over how to make coding so addicted that you won't wanna stop. So if you're new, my name is Azo. I've been coding for over 10 years and I've been working in the tech industry for more than 8 years at this point. So I know a little bit of thing about coding and it being boring and frustrating, but also finding and unlocking that key where I look forward to coding each and every time I sit down at my computer. So if you're like me, you might consider yourself a bit of a gamer, or you might even be still gaming, addicted to gaming, but you just can't find out how to transfer that level of addiction into something productive like coding. So I'm gonna be real with you. Coding is hard. There's no quick dopamine like TikTok and just scrolling. Errors don't exactly give you the best feeling. The problem is there is no habit loop, and you're not creating a habit of coding each and every day or within a certain cadence. You might just be starting out with tutorials, being passive and blindly copying things from ChatGPT or wherever, and hoping that something just clicks. You're waiting for something to just click, that aha moment. I waited for it for months on end. That's not how coding works, but here's what you can do. So our brains crave dopamine, and that's essentially what we get when we're on social media, doom scrolling, or anything like that. And the key to this is when you go on a social media app, that dopamine is triggered from seeing that one video that you went on there to see. For example, you go on somewhere and you're like, I want to see something funny. And you go on that social media app, let's say TikTok, and you go on there and you see that meme or that funny video, and boom, the task is accomplished. But what if I told you you can do the same thing with coding? Make your goals small. Shrink it all the way down into a small chunk. So what I would recommend is do 15 minutes of coding. Just commit to 15 minutes of coding. That is it. Make it feel so small in your brain that you can say, well, I can do that. Most people aim for these long coding sessions of 2 hours, 3 hours, 6-hour coding sessions. And let me tell you, if you're not already accustomed to doing these types of things, it is going to feel so daunting and you won't even want to start. Another thing you can do is use the Pomodoro technique and essentially study or code for 25 minutes, take a break for 5. And what I suggest is the 25 minutes code, the 5 minutes break, get your other dopamine hit from your social media, whatever you want to do for that 5 minutes, and then continue the 25 to 5, so that way it tricks your brain into thinking you're working for a reward. And the next thing is to build real things immediately. Build things that interest you. Stop doing your endless tutorials. Make some tiny apps, even if they're console apps. Do something cool. That way you'll be motivated to doing it more and more, and you'll look forward to it. Break whatever you're doing down in super small chunks. For example, if you're building, let's say, some type of full stack app, literally make one of the list items or checkboxes populate button and then put color or something like that. Really small, and do a bunch of those. But once you do those and you start checking them off, you're going to feel a sense of accomplishment, which is going to give you that dopamine hit, which will eventually make it more addictive because you will continue to check off these boxes. The next thing is going to be track your streak. Use some type of habit tracker, whiteboard, GitHub. When you see your streak growth, you won't want to break it. Therefore, it builds more momentum. So all of these different things that you are doing whenever you code, at the end of your 15 minutes, push your code to GitHub so that way you get the little green box for the day, and continuously do that every single day, no matter how big or small the task is. When you make a change to your code, push it up to GitHub and then watch your green boxes just fill up. This will give your brain a sense of not wanting to break a streak. If you ever use Snapchat, you know how you have that friend and you don't want to break that streak, and you know you guys have been talking for 400 days or whatever, and you just send a Snapchat just so you don't break the streak. Same effect. Push code up there, even in your 15-minute sessions, your 10-minute sessions. Push it up there. Have your GitHub nice and green. Another thing is having a sense of community. So sharing your progress publicly and speaking on what you do, even though it may not be the biggest thing, post it out there and create a conversation around it, right? You're gonna get a bunch of different feedback and people talking about how cool things are, or what if you do this, what if you do that. It's gonna make it a much more enjoyable experience rather than you just being siloed in your room, just trying to do it all by yourself. When you talk about it and you get other people's opinions and you kind of go back and forth and see other people's ideas, it makes the process a lot more fulfilling and also makes it a lot more fun. Another thing you can do is try to just gamify coding in general. Join some type of challenges, compete with maybe one of your friends on who can do the longest streak or something of that nature. You can use things like code wars. I used to do code wars a lot. Leak code obviously is one, or even 100 days of code. Make it fun. Don't be lonely when you're coding. So once you create that habit, something just kind of flips and you'll actually want to open your editor. You'll miss coding if you skip a day. You'll want to get back in it. And there's just some type of magic that happens. And when this clicks, it makes you pretty much unstoppable if you just keep with that momentum. What I recommend is just make a strict, even if it's 5, 10, or 15 minutes, dedicate a certain amount of time where you know you'll be available and stick to it. 10 minutes at 6 o'clock p.m. every single day, and stick to that. And then before you know it, you're gonna be looking forward to opening that editor. Coding doesn't have to be this tedious and harsh and brutal grind. It can be addictive, fun, and it can be a part of your identity if you build a habit loop. Start small, ship often, so upload to GitHub often, track your progress and track your small wins and turn it into a game. And then once you actually want to code, you're gonna become unstoppable. All right, so this is the end of the video. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Leave me a comment about what you're doing to make coding more addictive. Subscribe to the channel. Love, peace, and chicken grease. I'm out.